Hey, well, it's Huck, and I'm outside right now, so I'm using my phone to upload this. Um, I've got to run to the veterinarians later this afternoon here in a little bit to pick up my dog's medications. They're real good about it. I call them and let them know I'm coming and ask them how much the medications are going to cost, depending on how much I'm getting. How many weeks worth I'm getting, and they give me a price over the phone. I might make out a check, and so when I come there, I don't even have to go into the office. They come right out to my car. I hand them the check. They hand me the medications. Um, Today, after several weeks of going down to the grocery store myself, I ordered my groceries online again at the Giant Eagle. So they're coming by here within the hour to drop my groceries off here and have them delivered. Um, and that's why I really wanted to, post this video today. It's really about the virus. And where I live here in Ohio, out of the 88 counties that make up Ohio, my county, Trumbull County, Ohio, is one of several that are now deemed, in a pretty bad light by the governor of Ohio, Governor DeWine, has come up with a color coding system to determine whether or not your region or your county is, successfully navigating this virus. So the lowest threshold would be yellow. The more moderately severe cases would merit a orange color code. Red would be considered very serious, and then finally the I think purple, if I'm not mistaken, is the most serious. And the way that they're categorized has to do with how many of the risk factors your particular county has stacked up. You get a red flag, so to speak, or risk factor, if you have seen an increase in cases, substantial increase in cases over a 7-day or a 21-day period. Trumbull County has seen about a 50% increase in the last 21 days. You get another red flag if you have a severe outbreak at least one institution, and by that I think they mean like either maybe a hospital, a nursing home, maybe a some kind of a place of employment of some sort, or a prison or something. Trumbull County has a flag on that. I'm not exactly sure what institution or institutions they're talking about. But we do have several prisons. We do obviously have a number of nursing homes, so I'm not really sure which are represented in that flag. All in all, there are 4 flags that Trumbull County has accumulated here currently, out of a possible 5. And so, so Ohio is using this new system, and Ohio is not nearly as bad off as some of the states that we've been hearing a lot about in the news, particularly in the Southwest, but also Florida, South Carolina, clearly Texas, Arizona, parts of Southern California are having a terrible time of it right now, but a lot of states are. I mean, I think all in all, something like 40-some states are experiencing significant increases, and some of them are really really alarming, the number of cases. I think Florida, Texas, Arizona come to mind. Was it Florida had something like 10,000 cases alone in one day? Texas, I think, is somewhere around 8,000, or same thing with Arizona, like 6, 7, 8,000. The thing is, there's so many people around here that are still not wearing masks. I went to the grocery store just as recently as yesterday, and I tried to, the last couple of times I've gone shopping, I've actually not taken my car. I've gotten on my mobility scooter, and of course that limits how much I can carry, how much I can shop, because it doesn't have it has very limited space to, to put things, as I bring it back. Yesterday, figuring that I really wanted to get a little bit more, I had a little bigger shopping list. I tried going in there with a mask on and with my oxygen on. This is something I've been trying not to do. And I really struggled to walk through the store. In fact, I had to leave a couple items off my list. I didn't even hit every aisle because I was so out of breath. By the time I got to the register to pay for my items, I had to ask for assistance to get the items out to my car. So that's why I decided that's it. I'm going to order my things and have them brought to me, as for the foreseeable future right now. But there were so many people that were walking around that store without a mask on. Now, the employees, for the most part, were wearing a mask. I have been, in the last couple of weeks, to a number of different, retail places, usually through their drive-through, but I have gone to Family Dollar. I've done my grocery shopping a couple of times, and I've been through some drive-throughs. And I am appalled at how many employees. In Ohio, all retail establishments that do business with the public are mandated to wear masks. And clearly not everybody's abiding by that rule. Family Dollar, I went there and I just turned around and walked out because they had employees there that just weren't wearing a mask and making no effort to put one on, even when people were coming into the store. And at any rate, if you go online at all, there's a number of people, including some folks I know, who are just adamant that they're not going to wear a mask. These people that barely probably graduated high school seem to feel they know so much more than all of these people in the medical establishment who have decades of experience in dealing with pandemics and infectious diseases. So I am not surprised that where we find ourselves today. I don't know what these people are thinking. I mean, on the one hand, they want to see their kids go back to school. I'm sure a lot of them would like to be able to go to a movie or a concert or attend a basketball or football game in the fall. And I don't know if they realize it or not, but if they're going to insist on not wearing masks, that day is not going to come where they can do those things. It is frustrating that people like me who are highly vulnerable are not even an afterthought to many of these folk. Apparently many of them feel that, hey, if I die from the virus, it must be my time. Screw me. So I'm not, I don't know. I can honestly say I wish for now that I was living in another country, whatever country it might be, Canada, England, it would be better. Any Almost anywhere in the world at this point would be better than where I find myself. And I don't know if it's sunk in yet, but Americans are one of the few peoples in the world now that find themselves basically unable to leave their own borders. Nobody else wants us. Canada doesn't allow us to come across the border except in special circumstances. The European Union has just basically voted to exclude Americans. I know England has a 14-day quarantine restriction on any American coming into the UK, and they may very well bar us as well because, and who can blame them? I mean, the virus is completely out of control here. Anyway, so that's my thoughts on all of that. I am going to have to hunker down here, and like I said, for the last few weeks, after about a 10 or 11 week period where I really almost never left the house, I was starting to get a little bit more comfortable, trying to do a little bit of limited shopping on my own, but that's all now come to an abrupt halt. Partly because for me, it is difficult for me to wear a mask and walk around. I have to do it on my scooter, and right now the numbers are getting worse here in Trumbull County, and I just can't afford to take that risk, particularly given that so many people are not obeying, the common sense rules of wearing a mask and trying to socially distance themselves from one another. So until we get all of this kind of under control and people come to their senses, I'm going to have to venture out a lot less frequently. Now I'll try to get in my car and take drives around once in a while, and maybe visit some outdoor places where there aren't any people or very, very few people. In other words, where I can kind of keep my distance from folks. I'll do that mainly so I don't go crazy. But other than that, I'm going to probably be staying home here. My next video, I hope to talk a little bit more about, Trump and this whole Russia business. It's beyond me at this point that Trump is still in office, that he hasn't been booted. But that's a topic for another day. I thank you very much for watching. And I don't know, how are things in your neck of the woods? Where are people as stubborn and anti-science as they seem to be here in Trumbull County, where you live? Are people wearing masks when you're out? Anyway, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you again real soon.